Good morning and welcome everyone to our first ever MnACC Monday College Admission Q&A panel. As you can see here today, we have a panel of college admissions experts from a variety of different institutions from around the Midwest. Speakers here today represent public, private, 2-year, 4-year, in-state, and reciprocity colleges and universities. A little bit about MnACC. We were established in 1991. This is a non-competitive post-secondary collaborative dedicated to improving access to higher education for Minnesota students of color. The Minnesota Association of Counselors of Color work to provide college access opportunities throughout the year, including hosting college fairs, professional development, and scholarships for first-year students. Due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the school year last year and likely the school year coming up, it was important for us to find new and creative ways to provide high school students with opportunities to kind of engage in the college search process and again, college access opportunities. Therefore, we're excited to bring you this presentation to you virtually. Okay, we'll get started with introductions here, and I'll ask that each panelist introduces themselves and the institution they represent. After the introductions, we'll jump into questions. We do have a list of questions ready to go, but if anyone from the group does have questions, please feel free to add those to the Q&A box. At the end, we'll provide all contact information for follow-up, so that if there's a particular school or a program that you want to know more about, we welcome that follow-up afterwards. Okay.
So hi, my name is Kiana Levy, and I'm an admissions rep at Normandale Community College. Normandale is a 2-year college, which means most of our programs are designed to complete in 2 years or less. Normandale, we're the largest community college in the state of Minnesota with approximately 15,000 students any given semester. 40% of those students are students of color, so we have a very diverse population. Even though we are a large community college, our average classroom size is 28 with a 26-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Students are often looking to start off at Normandale, get their 2-year degree, and transfer to 4-year institutions. 25% of students are looking to transfer to 4-year institutions. We offer low tuition rates. Our tuition is set at $209.28 for this upcoming academic year. We also offer a host of transfer pathway degrees to places like Augsburg, Metropolitan State University, Mankato State University, as well as Southwest State University. We offer a combination of online and hybrid courses, as well as day, evening, and weekend classes for flexibility. And about 2/3 of our students are degree-seeking students who come from underrepresented populations, low income, first generation, as well as students of color.
Good morning, everyone. This is Chi Chad Yen, and I'm the admissions counselor for the Minnesota region for the University of South Dakota. I just want to give a quick acknowledgement that I'm speaking to you from the land of Assistant Wapton Oyate people in the northeast of South Dakota. However, Vermilion, South Dakota, where our beautiful USD campus is located, situated on the homeland of the Ihangtuan, which is the Sioux population in the southeast of South Dakota. So we are a 4-year public university with a strong emphasis on liberal arts education, which means we help you become a well-rounded global citizen. On top of that, we are the flagship university, the first one established in the state of South Dakota in 1862. And we do offer reciprocal tuition for our Minnesota residents, so that's really important. USD is actually going to be one of the more, if not most affordable of a public university in this region, offering $7 million in scholarships and grants annually. And our total student population is around 10,000 students, 7,500 of whom are undergraduate. Also, somewhat diverse population, about 17% of our student population are from our minority or students of color. And once again, our location is in Vermilion, which is about 4.5 hours to 5 hours just southwest of Minneapolis in terms of orientation. We do boast about 202 majors, minors, and certificate programs. On top of that, we also have 78 graduate degree programs where we provide numerous pathways, including 3+2 or 3+3 programs to help you obtain your advanced degrees. And besides your academics, we recognize your balancing your student life is really important. So we do have 178 student organizations that are social or multicultural. We also have a vibrant Greek life and also sports clubs and intramural sports. So thank you very much for your attention.
Sorry about that. My mic was muted. And so again, good morning, everyone. My name is Thomas Xiong. I'm the Assistant Director for the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. I'm also in charge of the multicultural recruitment team, which we have 4 counselors in the office that work specifically with multicultural recruitments, and also other admissions counselor work as well. So we wear 2 hats in those roles. We have one that works primarily with Native American students, and then also one that works with a lot of our Hispanic population, a counselor that works a lot with our African American student population, and then one that works with primarily Asian, Southeast Asian population as well. So our counselors wear 2 hats. I mean, obviously serving both as an admissions counselor and then also as multicultural recruitment within their ethnic communities also. Overall, UW Oshkosh has about just over 10,000 student population-wise in terms of undergraduate student enrollment, with a 20-to-1 student-professor ratio. So majority of our courses are fairly small, with us about 87% of our classes with 40 students or fewer. We are pretty diverse campus as well, diversity encompassing a lot of stuff, but 44% of our students are first-generation students. And then we have, just in terms of students of color, we have anywhere between 15 to 18% on campus overall. We also offer students a lot of clubs, organizations to be involved in as well, with over 180. So again, trying to provide students with that campus life experience as well. Lots of study abroad opportunities for students that want to engage in those. And then one of the nicest things as a former student there myself is that it's a very compact university. So you can get from one end to the other end in about 10-15-minute walk. And so it's a very easy place to navigate. It's a very compact campus. So everything's right there. For those that may not like the cold weather, like myself, I love the campus and that everything's right there that I can get away. I can get around very quickly from place to place. And then in terms of program-wise, we offer close to 200 different academic majors, minors, or emphases. Really well known for our nursing program. So we have a lot of healthcare fields. Our nursing program is one of the best rated as one of the best in the nation in terms of public nursing programs. So we offer degrees both at the undergraduate, at the graduate, and the doctoral level as well. So for our nursing program. And then we also offer different tuition remission for returning to Wisconsin, out-of-state reciprocity with Minnesota, Midwest Student Exchange Program, and then we also have a Titan National Scholars that we can grant students in-state tuition up to 4 years for students who meet academic eligibility. So a little bit of UW Oshkosh, but welcome everyone, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Karen Hernandez and I am an admissions representative at the University of Minnesota Rochester. So the University of Minnesota Rochester is a public 4-year university. We are health science focused. So all of our students want to enter the health science field, whether that be doing research, becoming a doctor, becoming an ultrasound tech, becoming, a nurse. We can help students navigate which route they want to go into. We also offer early assurance programs, such as our early assurance nursing program, which is in collaboration with the U of M Twin Cities nursing program. And we also offer an early assurance PA program, which is a collaboration with the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. We have about 850 students currently enrolled at UMR, so we are still a fairly small school. We have about a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and the average class size is about 23 students. 100% of our classes are taught by faculty. We do not have auditorium style classrooms. In those larger classrooms with about 50 or so students, we have 2 to 3 professors in that class. So if you need extra clarification on something, there are 2 or 3 other professors that you can ask. And we have no out-of-state tuition. So it doesn't matter if you come from Alaska, Vermont, New Mexico, you will pay in-state tuition. And also what's a really great thing, since we are a health science university, we are minutes away from Mayo Clinic. And it's a really great thing. We are located right in the heart of the medical world. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Sunet Rubalcaba, and I'm the admission rep and coordinator of multicultural recruitment for Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota. So just to give you a few fast facts about Concordia College, we're a private 4-year school. We're a 3rd division school as well that competes in the MnACC. Concordia College is situated in Moorhead, which is like, we call it the Fargo-Moorhead area, which is 3.5 hours up north from the Twin Cities. And like I said, we're a 4-year school. We have something called the 4-year guarantee, in which that we guarantee that all of our students that come into Concordia graduate within 4 years. I would just like to add to that that the only exception would be finance, which finance requires by nature 5-year commitment. We have 60 majors on our campus and 12 pre-professional programs. Science, biology, all STEMs are probably, or biology is probably one of the biggest majors that we have on our campus. So our school is kind of like some of the most major or popular majors that we have on our campus is STEM, nursing, business, music definitely is a big one, education, psychology. And then we also have 12 pre-professional programs. Of those, I would say probably the most successful have been pre-law and pre-med with like a 92-89% acceptance rate into medical school and law school as well after their 4 years. Then later on, we have a pretty good representation of 32 states, at least from within the United States. And also we are 9% diverse on our campus, and this means racially diverse. And excluding international students. So more or less by this year, we're estimating that we would be around 10 to 11% diverse on our campus with racial diversity, domestic racial diversity. And then around 35 representation of different faiths, most of them coming from the Christian spectrum. 50% of our students study abroad as well. And our campus has around 2,100 students currently. Just to give you other tidbits and information, we have an average class size of 13 students to 1 faculty. And one thing that I really like to talk about Concordia is our 4-year career readiness program, in which our students from their freshman year all the way to their senior year, they work with a career coach, and that helps them to build a strong bridge and foundation between their passion, their interest, their vocation, and building up that career. What would that look like after 4 years? So this is just a few bits of information about Concordia College. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shauna Fulford. I am the Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Augsburg. Been there about 8 years, and Augie myself. A little bit about Augsburg. We are a 4-year private liberal arts college here in Minneapolis. For the private schools, we are one of the smallest ones. We have about 2,100 undergraduate students. When you add in our master's programs, it brings it to about 4,000 students, but on average about 2,100 in the day program, which means classes are really small. Average class size at Augsburg is about 16. I think the largest classroom holds 30, so not even the option for big classes at Augsburg. Even though we're a really small school, we're located in the heart of Minneapolis, which is great. So students have access to a lot, especially when it comes to internships, research, experiential learning is really important at Augsburg. So we want students to get out there and use the city as an extension of the classroom, and we're able to do that because of our location. We are one of the most diverse schools in Minnesota, arguably the Midwest for the private schools. The past couple of years, we've brought in some pretty big freshman classes that have a majority students of color. So overall in our undergraduate program, Augsburg is 53% students of color. We're one of the most diverse schools, as I said. So even though we're a Lutheran affiliated college, we have only about 15% of our students who identify with being Lutheran. So students of all faith and non-faith backgrounds are welcome. We're one of the top 30 LGBTQIA+ affirmative and supportive colleges in the nation. A lot of neurodiversity on campus as well. So when we say we're a diverse school, definitely in all definitions of that word. We do have about 50 majors on campus. Similar to Concordia, biology is one of our most popular, especially that pre-med track. Business is a close second. Education kind of rounds out the top three. Some very unique majors at Augsburg as well. We have a 4-year film program, medieval studies, music therapy are some of our more unique and popular majors that we do have on campus. We also are part of a really cool consortium called the ACTC program, Associated Colleges of the Twin Cities. So students at Augsburg can also take classes at Hamline University, University of St. Thomas, Macalester College, and St. Kate's University. So our students are not limited just to what we offer on campus. They can really expand their options. So we're glad to have that partnership within the 5 of us ACTC schools. We are Division III when it comes to sports. We have 22 varsity sports. Augsburg was the first in the state to have women's lacrosse as a varsity sport. This past school year, we did add women's wrestling as a varsity sport as well. So lots of ways to be active on campus. Augies are very active. We have about 60 student clubs, organizations, once again, 22 varsity sports, film programs, music programs, theater programs, visual arts programs. So hopefully where and wherever your interests lie, you're able to join those clubs and organizations here at Augsburg.
Okay, thank you everyone for your introductions. And at this time, we will go ahead and jump into some of the questions that we have prepared. Again, encouraging if there are any questions from participants, go ahead and ask those. But I will just start with, how about an academic related question? Maybe a couple comments on this. How accessible are your professors? What are some examples of professor or student interactions outside of the classroom?
I can probably go and jump into that question, Maria. At least I can, for Concordia, our faculty are super accessible. They actually don't have office hours. They keep an open door policy in which if you see the door open of their office, students can just basically jump in and chat with their faculty. And this is not only for current students, but also for prospective students. When students are interested in talking to a faculty member and saying, hey, I'd really like to talk to an art faculty from the specific area, they're very accessible and saying, yep, we can schedule a Zoom call or we can schedule a phone call and just chat with that student and provide them more information of what they're looking for.
Thank you.
Then I can jump in. So at UMR, instead of students setting an appointment with their professor, your professors actually come to you. So your professors, at the beginning of the semester, they choose a location and a time that they will be at a spot. So it can be at a common location, it can be in a little classroom, but your professor will be there. You know what time and what day, and you can actually stop in and ask any questions that you may have. There is no appointment needed, and we call those just ask hours. So they're office hours, but instead of you having to create an appointment, you can just stop in and ask your professor any questions. And like I mentioned, you know where your professor will be, where they will be, and at what time.
I would also add that certainly at UW Oshkosh, professors are very accessible. As a former student there myself, I've never had an issue with meeting professors one-on-one. Our professors not only serve as instructors in the classroom, but as mentors outside of the classroom as well. And I think that's something that I really encourage students to take advantage of, is that they're great mentors. resources or references. I know I use my professors a lot in my program. I got connected to a lot of people in graduate programs that I wouldn't have known about. And so, like I said, our professors are not only accessible in the classroom, outside of the classroom during office hours, but certainly they serve as mentors and other resources outside of the classrooms as well.
I do want to add that similar to all the universities and colleges here, the USC professors are very accessible and personable, both in and outside of classrooms. Besides office hours, if you happen to not be able to make the office hour, you can just shoot an email and request a meeting with our professors. I actually have a student ambassador by the name of Kayana, who unfortunately endured emergency surgery last year. And within the very next day of notifying the professors, all of her professors got on FaceTime with her, met with her virtually, and guided her through the 3 months of a recovery period. And as a result, she said that she actually got a 4.0 for that semester. So even though she wasn't able to, she was recovering, but yet professors really cared about her personally. And I thought that was really emblematic of how our professors are. Thank you.
Thank you for that. In the same vein of student support in the academic setting, how do students declare a major? How are they supported if they're undecided? What's that process like at your school?
Yeah, I can start this one. So Augsburg does a really good job making sure students have that support, whether they have an interest area or not. I think one of the benefits of a small school is you get that very proactive support. So all students, when they start at Augsburg their first year, they get assigned a faculty advisor. Regardless of if they're decided or not, they'll have that faculty support from day one that's just there for them. And then they have to meet with their faculty advisor through what we call an Augsburg seminar course, AUGSEM. So it meets once a week that first semester. So they have that built-in support to really not only get acclimated to the campus and kind of academic skills coaching a little bit, but also where do your interests lie, where do your strengths lie, what might be good majors for that. So they have those built-in meetings weekly. But then we also have what we call our Strawman Center, who's there to help students do some of those inventories to help them figure out what they're interested in, or once again, where their strengths lie. And then we have an entire academic skills office that will help students with that too, kind of more the day-to-day stuff. And then students have to meet with faculty advisors before they can register every semester. So there's kind of that nice built-in checkpoint too, that the classes they're taking are adding up to a degree at the end, and that, you know, by middle of their second year, they've declared that major. So it's kind of that built-in support right away. We try to make sure students are still self-advocates, but we want to make sure they don't get lost in that transition to college. So we assign them that advisor from day one on campus. They meet weekly that first semester to make sure they're on track to declaring a major in a timely fashion.
I would say that at Concordia, aside from the academic advisor, from their freshman year, they're also assigned to a career coach. So a lot of that landing on a major, kind of declaring a major, there's also very active work that's done through the Career Center with students who, for example, if there's a student that says during their freshman year, hey, I'm interested in education, they make sure that during freshman year, sophomore year, the student is able to observe an ESL class, for example, just to make sure that is this where you see yourself after 4 years? Is this where you want to be? So they do a lot of job shadowing early during their undergrad, during their freshman, sophomore year, before they're actually able to declare a major. Obviously, most of our students declare a major by the end of their freshman year, beginning of their sophomore year, and that really depends on the major that they're also looking for. But a lot of that work, that vocational work and passion work, has to do a lot with the Career Center as well.
Well, let me just jump in here and say that the students here at the University of South Dakota may declare a major upon the very first registration session, where he or she is paired with an academic advisor, and that will guide him or her based on his strengths and interests to identify a major. And also all throughout the academic year, a student may declare a major just by seeking out an advisor from the ACPC, our Academic and Career Planning Center. And not to mention, our first year and first 2 years, actually, we do provide a very robust general education requirements, about 30 credits of them throughout a 4-year curriculum. So really, college is about exploration, and that's what we encourage students to do. So if at any point a student were to identify a stronger or better suited interest, he or she may switch that track right away. So previously I mentioned ACPC. Each student will get an advisor. On top of that, a student also have another faculty advisor. So at least 2 advisors to guide and to offer students differing opinions or reinforce the same professional opinion. Thank you.
At the University of Minnesota Rochester, since we are focused on the health sciences, students that apply for the health science major are directly admitted into the health science major. So with that, they don't need to claim or choose a major because they're already in their major from day one. And for our health profession students, they apply once they have prerequisites all completed. And some services that we provide to students are academic student success coaches. So these are academic coaches if students need help figuring out their schedule or they need help figuring out what classes they should take every semester. This person will be there for them. If they, if they know they want, since they're there for the health sciences, right? That student success coach helps them figure out what path they want to go in the health sciences. So it could be research, medical school, graduate school. That success coach will help them with that. Another service that we provide to our students is disability services, and then they can go to disability services if they need any accommodations when it comes to testing or stuff like that.
At Normandale, for students who are undecided, our advising and counseling department, they offer a host of career and self-assessment that students can take to kind of help figure out which direction they want to go. They also offer a 1-credit career development course that students can take to help explore majors as well. So, and then also as a part of the enrollment process, students are required to attend an advising and registration session, or now the new student online orientation. And at that point, students get the opportunity to meet with academic advisors via virtual setting to help with career and career planning as well as exploration as well.
I was just going to say at Oshkosh, we offer many of the same stuff. So not just to reiterate what everyone said, but certainly in terms of support services, we offer a lot of the very similar resources and service that's available at most of the other schools that's been talked about.
A good question that maybe everyone would like to comment on, like a brief summary. So during the times of COVID-19 and the lasting impacts, how can a student interested in your campus meaningfully engage with your campus, whether that's some type of virtual visit, program? How are you working with students who want to visit or know more information?
Yeah, I think Augsburg is being kind of overly cautious with everything. We'd rather take our time opening things back up than having to go back and close and open, close and open. So we are doing as many virtual events as we can do, but also virtual and phone appointments with students. So we still have tons of open availabilities for campus visits where students can set up Zoom appointments or phone appointments with the counselor, have that full conversation as much as we can. And then we have a really robust virtual tour online where students can click on buildings and see videos and see photos of those buildings, as well as stories and anecdotes from our current students. So students are still able to see campus virtually, and then of course meet one-on-one with a counselor whenever it works for them. So we're really encouraging that. We're hoping, fingers crossed, in September to start in-person visits. I know some colleges have started doing some of those tours, but once again, Augsburg's trying to be overly cautious, make sure not only the campus can stay safe, but the students who are coming to visit. And so if you do go to Augsburg to walk around on your own, masks are required, those sorts of things. Some buildings have been closed over the summer to limit the amount of cleaning that needs to be done. But we can still visit with students. We can still have those conversations as much as a student wants us to have through Zoom appointments or through phone appointments. But we're hoping to have students back on campus at the end of the summer.
So at UW Oshkosh, we obviously, again, the same theme as Augsburg. I'm just trying to be safe and trying to, keep the campus, the community safe as possible. We've offered lots of different virtual options for students and families. Obviously, we do offer, virtual campus tours, aerial campus tour where, students and families can kind of see the overall campus, what's like, proximity of facilities and things like that. We also have a virtual walk-in tour as well, where students can click on buildings, facilities, see what it's like, take a 360 view of the buildings and things like that. Our counselors are available to talk to families or students every day of the week, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Via our chat function. And so certainly they can jump on during those hours and be able to talk with a live admissions counselor and get any questions or concerns that they may have answered that way as well. Again, so obviously available through Zoom or Team or the system we use, Collaborate Ultra as well. So we offer lots of different virtual options for students and families to at least get a glimpse of what Oshkosh is like, or have a better understanding, or get their questions or concerns answered. Today is the first day that we are offering on-campus campus tours again. And so for very limited, limited number of people. So we're limited for 9 participants per group and once per day. And so today is the first day that we are offering that again. So hopefully everything will go well. But yeah, so I know we've had a lot of requests from families to see the campus itself. And so today will be the first day. So.
Well, as previously mentioned, all of us are offering virtual tours, and at USD, and also me personally, being the rep for Minnesota, I also offer flexibility. So if you are comfortable with FaceTime or Facebook, Skype, WebEx, I can work with and very versatile with all the platforms. And also, if Saturday and Sunday is the only time you're able to make it, just shoot me an email. I am here to work with you and help you with this 30-minute virtual tour. And robust image and videos to help you get a sense of how beautiful our campus is. The last point I do want to make in terms of campus safety and for your wellness and health, we do request all the staff members and faculty members to wear masks. And we strongly recommend our students to do that and visitors to do that as well. Starting on August 1st, we are opening back up for in-person visit. However, we do also keep a strong social distancing. So we no longer meet in our individual offices. We will meet in a conference room where we can all spread out to help you, give you your safety distance. Thank you.
Pretty similar to what my colleagues have been mentioning, and also will open for visits July 22nd. So same, requiring face mask. I think we'll have only one family in the morning and one in the afternoon, and similar way, just reaching out to us for Zoom visits. And we've been hosting also campus preview days where students can also see the different specific majors in our campus and programs as well. So there's those resources for students as well.
Normandale has announced that all of our classes for fall are going to be online, with an exception of a few. For example, some of our nursing clinicals have to be face-to-face. So as a result of that, we are going to continue to do most of our appointments and things online. If you go right to our website, you can schedule an appointment via our Calendly tool. You can go right to admissions and click on any of the admissions reps Calendly tool, and that'll link with our Outlook calendar. I know that the advising and counseling department, they are using Calendly as well. It's extremely convenient. You just go there and you click on the name and boom, there you have an appointment. Yeah.
Yeah, similar to what everyone has said, we are making sure that we are, providing the best experience for our students, whether it's being accommodating to times and needs and whatever questions they may have. We are also prioritizing everyone's safety and well-being during these times. So we are hosting virtual visits with counselors, and we are also hosting virtual open houses during the summer. Our first one for this summer is actually next Thursday. So we're providing, you know, several opportunities for our students to learn more about us during these times.
Okay, I think that was everyone. Thank you for that. I appreciate knowing what everyone else is kind of doing and how people are going about this. I don't think anyone has the perfect right answer, but we're all doing the very best we can using all the information available to us. So kudos to all of you and your campuses for that. With these last 20 minutes or so, I want to make sure everyone can talk a little bit about their application process, the admissions, how decisions are made. So kind of like, let's say you have a rising senior, what they need to know to apply, what they can expect from an admissions decision. And please also comment on your testing policy for this upcoming year.
Yeah, for Augsburg University, we're on rolling admissions. So the application will open for the new group of seniors August 1st. And students can apply using the Augsburg application. We are a member of the Common application as well, and students can choose which one they want to do. With either application, there are built-in essays. Augsburg is a little bit different in that we don't do the standard 5-paragraph essay. We actually have 3 short answer questions that students do that really just gets more at the heart of who they are, long-term goals, interests, how they work in groups, just helping us get to know them more. Application's free. It's always free for students at Augsburg. And then we need, of course, official high school transcript, super holistic review to our application process. So there's not a magic GPA that will automatically get students denied or admitted. We're really looking at the type of classes they're taking, trends, making sure they're staying consistent or climbing up that mountain. We look at what high school that they're at, those sorts of things. 1 letter of recommendation from any teacher that they choose or school counselor. And then we also are a test optional school. So we went test optional 2018. So if a student wants to submit their test score, great, but it is not required by any means. Once a student has submitted all of those pieces, we commit to a 2-week turnaround for them to get their decision. So within 2 weeks, students will be notified electronically first that a decision's been made, as standard mail can take a little bit longer for that packet to go out. But they'll know right away if they've been admitted, hopefully, not denied. And then in their acceptance letter, students know all of their merit-based aid right away. So any scholarships that they qualified for, we'll let them know right away. Most of them stack on top of each other. And so students can immediately subtract that from that sticker price. Within about 2 to 3 weeks of when we get their FAFSA, we'll create their financial aid award letter. So it's a pretty quick turnaround for them to get that final financial aid information too. Regardless of when students know they're admitted, they know what it's going to cost them. We still stick to the May 1st decision deadline. So once again, rolling admissions throughout the entire year. And of course, we can always, reevaluate things when it comes to financial aid, all of that good stuff before students feel like they have to make a decision.
At UW Oshkosh, we are also on a rolling admissions cycle, and so we don't have a deadline at all. Our application process starts August 1st as well. We use the UW Systems application. We're not part of the Common app, and so we use the UW Systems. And so for any students that want to apply, they can just go to the UW Systems application website and apply right through there. For this coming year, the good thing is the application fee has been reduced, and so previous years it was $50, but this year and moving forward it's been reduced to $25 per application. So that's been a nice change for students and families that may not be able to afford the application fee as well. That process has been made easier as well, where they can just check off on the application that they are unable to pay. And so then colleges will be aware that the students is not going to be able to afford the application fee. So they don't have to, I believe they do not have to submit any documentations or proof to show that they are in need of due to financial reasons, which had been in the past. And so we're trying to make the process a lot easier for students. We also will take for fall 2021, we're also moving to a test optional process as well due to COVID. And so for students that don't want to send us their test scores or, we're unable to do the test because of COVID, it is test optional. So they can just let us know that, they're opting not to send us their test scores, and we'll just go off their high school transcript and things like that. And so again, we use a comprehensive review process as well, looking at the total student and not just part of the student, looking both at academic, non-academic stuff, courses, rigor of classes, GPAs, ranking if high school still ranks. And so we do look at all those factors to make our evaluation. The good thing is that a few years ago, a lot of the UW systems, 2-year campuses were merged with the 4-year campuses. And so with us, the two closest 2-year campus was merged with us. So the Fox Cities campus, which is a 2-year campus, and the Fond du Lac campus, which is another 2-year campus, was merged with UW Oshkosh. And so now we are basically 3 campuses, 1 university. So when students apply, they will apply to the main 4-year UW Oshkosh campus. And if for any reason they're not admissible to the 4-year campus, we will admit them to one of the 2-year access campus. And so you're going to be admissible to one of our 3 campuses regardless. And so we're trying to make higher education as accessible to as many students as possible. But we also do try to get back within a 2-week time frame once the application is completed. So basically for us, what we need is just a completed, in terms of a completed application, it's just the student's application. The application fee, if they are paying it or just checking off that they're not able to pay due to financial reasons, and then their unofficial or official high school transcript. So they can send us either unofficial or official high school transcript.
Normandale has a really simple application process. The only requirement for applying and being accepted to the college is that you have a high school diploma or a GED. You will need to go to our website to do an application. The online application is right there on the website. From there, we will look into placement testing. And this is one piece that has changed as a result of COVID-19. We have suspended our AccuPlacer testing because we can't do face-to-face testing. So therefore, we are evaluating high school transcripts. So we ask that if you're a high school student or just a student in general to send an official copy of your high school transcript so we can evaluate GPA, as well as maybe look at some of the courses that you've taken. Or if you have taken the ACT or SAT, we ask that you submit that information to us so we can have that to evaluate you for placement. Once we've determined what your placements are, then we are requiring students to attend the new student online orientation, and that's where students get to learn about college procedures and policies. And then, as I mentioned earlier, have the opportunity to schedule an appointment with an academic advisor to pick out courses and talk about majors and careers and programs and things of that nature. Right now, the application fee is waived, so it's free, but typically there is a $20 application fee to apply at Normandale.
Well, USD's application process is very straightforward. First of all, there's no essay or recommendation letter requirements, and we just look for 3 things. First of all, if you have a cumulative GPA of a 2.6 GPA, or if you're top 50 percentile, or if you happen to have ACT of 21, we also take super score, or SAT of 1070, then you're in. Now, the ACT or SAT, that is completely optional. So any one of these 3 will get you a 7, okay? And then in terms of our application, we do go by Common App application platform. So there is a $20 general fee. However, just like my colleagues have mentioned, students with financial needs, they could select the waiver button, and then we could consider waiving that $20 application fee. We are also on a rolling enrollment process. So actually, ladies and gentlemen, I believe all of you who are tuning in are most likely going to be juniors, rising seniors. Do not need to wait. In fact, I have accepted quite a few students already that are rising seniors. And also, our general turnaround is 2 weeks. However, personally, I commit to a 48 hours turnaround period. So if you, as soon as you finish your Common App application, within 12 hours, we should receive, and I'll be able to review your application. And please request your advisor or counselor to email me your transcript, and then you're ready to go. Okay. We also have an automatic evaluation for your what we call CAIO commitment scholarship based on your standardized test score and also your GPA. So between ranging from $1,000 to $3,500 per academic year, renewable for 4 years. So hopefully that's really straightforward for you. Thank you very much.
At Concordia, similar in some ways and in others a little bit different, but we're on-rolling admission process. We have had our application open since July 1st, and we'll start providing admission decisions starting September, the early days of September. So basically the same way our application is on our website, it is free. We basically just need your high school transcripts. So as of this year, because of COVID-19, we've also become a test optional option for our students. So if you do decide to submit your ACTs, that's fine. If you don't, that's well. And so every single application is kind of different. If sometimes with your application and your transcript, that can get you admitted. But if we feel like we need to request additional documentation, that can look in the form of like letters of recommendation, personal statement, things like that. But those are, most of the time, those are optional. And then usually after September, we should be able to submit to provide your admission decision. And 2 weeks after you get your admission package, that's when we submit your scholarship letter, so that you know more or less what that merit-based scholarship looks like for you. Also, starting September, we'll have all of our scholarships ready to go and approved. So after September, you will be able to find what those scholarships look like.
Okay. At UMR, we have rolling admission. Our application opens up on August 1st, and students can apply to us either through the Raptor application, which is on our website, or the Common application. We do have an application fee of $30, but we can definitely have this waived if it seems to have an impact on a student and their family. On our application, we do have the Passion for Healthcare statement. So this is going to be a short answer asking students, why health sciences? Why the healthcare field? We really want to know how their passion got started. And this Passion for Healthcare statement is also what gets them considered for scholarships. Also, students have until December 1st. That is our priority deadline. And this is for students to be considered for scholarships and to also be considered for those early assurance programs that I mentioned, which are nursing and the PA program. We do have a holistic review when reviewing the students' applications. We don't admit based on ACT scores or grades. We do have about a 2-week turnaround when reviewing applications. We do have students submit their high school transcripts and college transcripts if they took PSEO courses or transfer students. Letter of recommendations are optional. They are not required. And we are test optional for the 2021 school year.
Great, thank you everyone. We just have a couple minutes left, so I'm gonna ask maybe just one, maybe two people to answer this last question. I like to end with this. What single piece of advice would you give to a student entering their senior year of high school who is beginning to consider their post-secondary options? You can think about it for a moment, but if you have some great piece of advice, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
One thing I always say to students is to always believe in themselves and to trust yourself, because I really honestly believe that it's not about abilities, but it's just how much you want it. And so I think if students want in their education, they want the degree, if they're willing to put the work and the effort into it, they can achieve it. And I know myself coming into this country as a refugee with no English skills whatsoever, coming from a family that didn't have much of anything at all. That's one thing I've always been taught, is that always believe in yourself, always trust yourself, and know that if you are willing to put the work into it, that you can achieve anything. I know that sounds cliché and all that stuff, but it really is. And so that's one thing I always tell students, is that, it's not about abilities, because I believe that anybody can be successful. It's really about how much you're willing to put work into it. And so again, just trust yourself, know that if you're willing to work, that you can achieve it.
can I just offer a 10-second advice? One is do not succumb to senioritis. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Number two, start your college search process early so that you don't miss out on scholarships. Simple as that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. In closing, I'm going to share everyone's contact information here one last time. Here we go. So thank you for the viewers who tuned in live today, or maybe viewed this recording in the future, and the panelists who joined us to share your expertise. We hope you find this information helpful as you take steps forward in your college search. Listed here, as you can see, is the contact information for the people you heard from today, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And thanks again.